Hello and welcome. Today we're going to focus on some lower body stretches, primarily stretches for the hips, glutes, piriformis. So hopefully this is just what you need. If you need a more active class, remember the library is filled with different core workouts, vinyasa, etc. Today's class will be more relaxation based. So let's go ahead and start with a deep breath. We'll do our best to sit tall with the legs in front of us, and some students may need to sit on something like a folded towel. Really work on lifting the chest, and we're going to roll out the femur, sort of rolling the hip socket side to side, and you can gently massage into the inner and outer leg as you do this exercise. Keep taking deep breaths and do your best to have tall, healthy posture. Very good. Let's do the other leg. And now the body's a little bit more prepared for sitting cross-legged. Again, students may want to sit on something like a folded towel or blanket. Sitting bones back. And we're going to go ahead and take the right ear to the right shoulder. Feel the left shoulder really sink. A breath or two here. And then other side. Come back to center. And let's stir up the spine a little bit. Taking 3 or 4 motions in one direction and then switching the direction. All right, very good. Let's take a little forward bend. You can just do a little bit. You can even be up on your fingertips if your muscles are tight. And eventually you glide forward even more. Make sure it's okay on the knees. Let the head relax, but don't slouch the spine excessively. There's a sense of reaching forward through the sternum, and we'll hang out here for a little while with deep, deep breaths. Come on up. Switch which leg is in front. Sometimes it helps to move the fleshy part of the calves outward to free up the knees a little bit. And again, we'll do ear to shoulder. Feel the right shoulder sink, left ear to left shoulder. Deep breath. And other side. Excellent. Come back to center and let's stir the spine. Do several rounds each direction. And then we'll make our way into the nice forward bend. Gliding down part way or more fully and releasing the head. 5 deep breaths here. release the forward bend. Let's go ahead, bring one leg out from underneath, and we're going to lift the other ankle. Now, you may tend to twist your foot, but I want to encourage you to avoid that. So keep the ankle engaged, and we're just going to kind of move back and forth, working out the hip a bit. And then you can start to move the foot a little closer in, and again, keep moving back and forth, knee going side to side a bit. Keep the ankle nice and engaged. When you're twisting the ankle, you put more pressure into the side of the knee, so we want to avoid that in our yoga practice. And you might be able to come deeper in. We're still breathing, of course, and sitting tall. And releasing, and switching to the other leg. So we have one leg extended, the other leg comes in a bit, and now if you're newer to this, you don't have to come in that much. You can just have the foot a little bit in and work side to side, but if you can get it a little bit higher and a little deeper in toward the body, then do that. Sorry for not mentioning that on the previous side. Deep breath. Now we're sort of rocking the hip, loosening up in the joints and the muscle tissues, and then we bring the foot in. The ankle is nice and engaged, so we're not twisting or sickling the ankle. Breathing. And the body's nice and warmed up in the hips now. We'll switch to hands and knees. Give a big push to the right, and you may feel this even in the side of the hip, and definitely feeling it in the side of the body. And then other side. Deep breath. We're going to come back to center and take a little downward dog here. It's okay to have the knees bent. Ideally, we're working on lifting the hips high and really lifting out of the shoulders. And we'll take the right knee forward. Now we're in a swan pose. So we've got the knee forward, we work the hips down and lift up in the chest. Now the body may not feel ready for this in the knees. You're welcome to do a cradle stretch or a lunge. I'll be showing the cradle stretch later in class. So adapt as needed. If the swan feels good for you, enjoy it and breathe. We're going to take a forward bend, have the elbows down, or you might even have the head down and the arms more deeply relaxed. Very good. We'll come on up and push back to a downward dog. Left side swan. Moving into it slowly is both good for the joints and it builds the core a little bit. We'll focus on lifting the chest. You don't have to have the hands too far back, but it can be kind of like a cobra-like position. If the back is sore, it's definitely better to have the hands a little forward. We're focusing on deep breath above all else. And after a little bit of time in the lift, we're going to enjoy the forward bend. So elbows down or full forehead down, sinking into it, breathing into it. and come on up. And exhale, downward dog. Very good. We're going to kneel down, bring the legs out from under, and next we're going to be taking a straddle. The straddle is great because if you're new to it, you just open a little bit and eventually you can open more. And if even you practice a lot, maybe even you get paid to do yoga like I do, you can open the legs quite far. But it's just really what works for you, so focus on that, not necessarily what I'm doing. And we're going to stretch forward a little bit at first, and if it's working for you, if you can breathe, working deeper down and enjoying that deep release in the hips and hamstring. Try and soften in the shoulders and have a neutral neck. We'll release from that stretch, bring the legs closer together, and then we're going to switch to a nice square pose. Now, you may be thinking this is cross-legged like we've done already, but cross-legged is a triangle base. You see how this is a triangle base? The square has the ankles way over so that they're in front of the opposite knees. If the knees are tender, you definitely want to sit on something and or be very gentle with this pose. Advanced students can have their ankle up on the thigh, but again with that flexed foot, not sickling the heel. We'll stretch forward. This is a great release for the glutes. You often feel it on both sides, although it may target one side particularly. So enjoy that and stay steady with your yogic breathing. Release from the forward bend, and let's switch which leg is in front. Again, working on this square base. We have the ankles pushed way over and then bend down a little bit at first and deeper if it's working for you. Very good. Release from the stretch. Next, we're going to make way onto our back. So make sure you have enough room. Switch to knees to chest. And then taking the reclined lunge. So left foot down, right ankle above the knee, and then the knee goes wide. This is a great stretch for the hamstring connector. Keep the back of the neck long. And take some deep breaths here. Students who need a big stretch can lengthen their bottom leg, but for today I'm just going to do it with the bottom leg bent because I'm getting a great stretch already just by focusing on working the thigh down and the knee a little bit wide. So do with your body what you need. You should practice with a sense of what works for you. And we're going to switch sides. Take your time and feel into it. One side may be a lot more flexible or a lot tighter. Maybe you're equal side to side. Whatever the case is, adapt as needed. The tight side you want to go into slowly. Ease into it like as if it's a hot bath. Focus on deep breath. Remember, the deep breath is the most important thing. It's much more important, for instance, than the proper use of the English language, especially while teaching yoga. Okay, we'll do a few more rounds. And then releasing the left foot to the ground. Take the right ankle to the left thigh and have the ankle flexed. So you're not twisting the ankle. If you need a little stretch, you can just push on the knee and that will be enough. That will stretch people with tight glutes. But if you need more of a stretch, you can hold the hamstring, or you might even be able to hold the shin just below the knee. Do your best to keep the back of the neck long. The chin may tend to stick up, especially if your shoulders and hips are tight, but try and keep the shoulders down, the neck long. A pillow under the head can work wonders for people with a tight neck. Deep breath. Switching sides. Ankle in line with the thigh. Flex the foot and push the knee open. Or take the option of holding the hamstring or the shin. Lifting up a little bit to get your grip works well, but just make sure you can keep the neck lengthened as you lower back down. Shoulders down, back of the hips down. Full deep breathing. And when you're complete, take a release from the stretch, lengthen the legs, open the arms, practice Shavasana. We'll do a minute or two here. You're always welcome to turn the volume off and do a long Shavasana, otherwise a brief reclined meditation, letting go the effort of the breath, softening, having the eyes closed, and journeying inward. back to the body. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Give yourself a hug and knees to chest. And when you're ready, we'll do a closing seat for one clearing breath and one Om. Make your way upright, sit tall, breathe deep. Breathe in through the nose. Hold it for a second or two. Open the mouth, let it all out. Very good. Now inhale for Om. Namaste. Support this channel by clicking the link below and offering a donation. Thank you for practicing with us today. It also helps if you like, subscribe, comment, and share. Namaste.